talk about Communis for a moment. It's about a 15-minute presentation. I'll keep Max on schedule. We'll be able to get there without any trouble. So Communis, what is it? We'll get to that. But well, I guess I could just tell you what it is. Reward token for natively staking HEX. And so what's the big deal about that? Well, particularly for Quattro Cinco stakes, which I think people know that I'm into. You know, you get the best and the most Communis reward for doing a Quattro Cinco stake. And currently, the coupon rate on PulseChain is 4.17%. So that means that the Communis that you get in your start bonus, not the entire bonus, just the start, is 4.17%. And what does that mean? That means if I go stake $100 worth of HEX for Quattro Cinco, I can, as soon as that stake goes live, I can turn around and mint a start bonus that is worth $4.17. So not too shabby, not too shabby. And so the big discussion about this has always been about how it is a marketing tool. It's a marketing tool because people actually, believe this or not, people are actually staking HEX in order to get more COM so that they can stake the COM. And when they stake their COM, they get 5% additional APR once they hit certain requirements. And so what you can envision, right, our shining city on the hill type of approach is that at some point you're able to stake your HEX, claim your COM, stake your COM, get COM in terms of a reward or a bonus from your staking your COM, and never have to sell HEX. All right, so that's where it is now. I think the last I checked, half a quad of COM stake, which requires quite a bit of HEX to be staked, by the way, was paying about $1,000 to $2,000 a year in rewards. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but like, you know, I'll hit this again, right? Let's say you had that set up, you were somewhat less, you had $1,000 worth of COM coming in via rewards. Well, I expect crypto to go up 10x. So maybe I thought $1,000 was too little. 10,000 is pretty good. And the chain goes up 100x. I think I like $100,000 in COM per year just coming from rewards a lot. I think I like that a lot. Now, of course, there's some background to that, and we can't really guarantee all this stuff, right, price wise and all the rest. But just give you the idea, price, you know what it is now. It's 4.17%, and you know, I was just referring to that coupon rate not changing. Well, what if it changes? Well, all of a sudden that number's a lot higher. Now, how would it change? Well, people that are interested in COM, and there's a whole community of people. It's not just me. It's not just Johnny Sachs. It's not the developer Kodiak. It's not the Communis V guys. It's a whole bunch of people that are involved now, that are really supporting this and pushing it. If we are able to make COM more scarce by taking off the market price goes up, and it's tied to T-shares and the T-share rate, and so. What does that mean is over time, less and less COM, Communis token gets minted, right? Less and less is rewarded. And then if you add one extra piece to that, there's a lot of people just fade it. I bet you there's some people listening right now, they haven't even claimed their COM. And even if they do claim their COM, they have to keep their ladder up and in good health to continue to claim COM, at least the big end bonuses. So anyways, it's a pretty good, sweet setup. Let me show you a couple bits of information so I don't take up all our time here. But all right, so what's HEX COM fusion? We talk about this a lot. It's basically making that liquid HEX productive. One of the things that they've tried to encourage is getting people to stake Quattro Cinco to claim the COM, right? When you do that, now of course it's got to fit into your plans, right? So it's got to fit into your plans, whatever your plans are. You know, I'm not saying go stake all your value out, Quattro Cinco, but again, some of us really do believe in this. We have 180 other people, nearly 500 this year, wallets, I guess I can't say the people, but who have decided that Quattro Cinco staking is the way to go. So they're doing it, So they can stake that hex. They claim their COM. They'll stake their COM for some of them. Will stake it and earn even more. Earn that 5% APY for the COM. Or, hey, you know what? This is DeFi. You don't want to participate? Claim your COM and swap it. Swap it for more hex. Go stake more hex. You have that capability, right? People, there's quite a bit of liquidity right now relative to the market and how things work. So what is the purpose of this whole thing? To incentivize better staking. Some of you might have been listening a couple hours ago when I was on. The use case for HEX is to stake HEX in a ladder, scrape your rewards, and restake. That's the use case, right? Keep the ladder going, keep it built, continue to build value, continue to make both HEX and T-shares more scarce in that way, but it's designed specifically for HEX stakers to maintain long ladders, right? So it's exactly how it's built, and why it's important is the distribution is based on staking commitment, right? If you don't get COM if you don't stake HEX natively. So you can't get it. You have to go 180 days out just to get your start bonus. You got to go 365 days out to get end bonuses. You have to claim your first end bonus to even get rewards. And then if you don't stake your COM, eventually the system will say, you can't get any more end bonuses because you got to keep up with staking some of the COM at least. Thumb rule is 50%. So it's all based on rewarding long-term stakers who will fulfill their commitments. Now, Johnny Sachs talks about this a lot, about how it's inevitable the price of COM is going to go up and it's going to outperform HEX, and that's because of the number one, the scarcity, the number of tokens that come into being in comparison to HEX. They go up at a much slower rate, and so the ratio will continue to be outsized, and then there's already liquidity seeded into the markets, right? And the expectation would be that liquidity will remain, and if it remains, right, it has the potential to seriously outperform HEX over time. So distribution methods on the whole Communis COM token: start bonuses. You get that at the beginning of a stake, end bonuses at the end of a stake. Some people are using, the protocol for good accounting. And so they'll go good account hold, stakes that are expired, and they get a little bonus. They get a little bounty they get for some free COM. There's a little used and little known option for those who are really into keeping their ladder up. They can do a restake bonus. They don't get any more COM from it, but they get more of their COM up front. They get double the start bonus roughly, which is great for somebody who wants to stake and earn 5%. And then, of course, the staking of Communis bonus, which I keep talking about, is tied to the act of staking the Communis tokens themselves, and that pays 5%. So that's another way that this, more COM gets distributed. I hit some of these points already, but again, active stakes only, bonuses for native stakes, and encouraging long-term staking. All right. And over time, if you ever want to look at the numbers, you can come over to the site or over to the Telegram. They get into details, but basically reflects what's happening with the share rates and just how you are participating going forward in the staking of HEX. So again, all about staking of HEX. And it is, and we get this question a lot, it is native staking only. It does not apply to HSIs, which does open up interesting questions for people who are involved with things like Actuator or Hedron and ICOSA. And, because you have to make a decision in one direction or another if you're staking. All right. Staking, let's see, technical specs on this one. Yeah. So this gets into the idea of why it was native stakes in the first place. Proof of ownership, you have to be able to prove you owned it. Decentralization is really cool with this one. No admin keys. A lot of the stuff where we're dealing with now, I know we may not realize it if you're not looking into it. A lot of the new protocols we're working with, they're not necessarily immutable. You got to check things like that. And then it really has emphasized fairness, no special bonuses, etc. Now, I do believe I'm scheduled with Access for a full talk on this, our panel, right? Panel coming up tomorrow. And so we'll have more time to talk about that. But this is the real high level. And as far as slides go, I got quite a bit of them here, so I'm not going to go through them all. But I mean, I hit on all these points already. Oh yeah, there is one other one that we should bring up is if you do like it and you want to be involved, you can be sharing your own personal referral link, and you'll get a 1% referral for people who claim and they'll come later. You can get that. And then finally, the very last thing I'd say, what are the big guys doing? I think what we've kind of fell into is the methodology is claim and stake calm, for those who are staking HEX, and then increasing those bonuses and having it earn more calm and locking more of it. And then the real big folks are providing the LP, and acquiring the tokens off the market. At any one time, I can go out there and find, V3s out there, either, somebody supplying the market or somebody taking them off the market, kind of like bracketing the price.
Fun fact, you can only stake the Communis that you mint from your stakes.
Correct. You can't just come in and be like, I'm going to go buy COM. And if, what you have to do is you actually have to stake HEX to get the COM, right?
And staking?
Yes, that's the whole purpose. Mm-hmm. But with the price of COM currently, it is cheaper to buy COM off the market than it is to stake it, which is another tokenomics piece, right? Now, what do you do with that COM? That COM is for speculation and for providing LP. And so in theory, somebody could say, hey, listen, I really want to support this. Go buy a shat ton of COM off the market and go thicken up the HEX LP pair with COM and really help, boost the system up, or some other LP with it.